Hey all, Jen here. It's been a hot minute since I've done a tarot card reading online, so I thought perhaps why not give it a go? Um, so I wanted to dive into the meeting that Trump had with all the generals earlier this week. Um, I'm sure that there was more to the story than to tell the generals that it was time for them to have more physicals and get into better shape. With every single general there, I think that there was maybe 800 in attendance in Virginia. I'd like to know what was the true behind the scenes intent of that meeting? Why did he really get all the generals together? Three, two, one. Why did Trump really get all the generals together? So right off the bat, you see that there's a bit of a shift in narrative. There's truth and integrity. They were actually there to have a meeting. I think he actually did tell them that they had to get into better shape. That's kind of funny. Here's the meeting directly. Getting everyone together. It was actually probably a big feat to get everybody in one place at one time. This is really interesting. I kind of want to dive into this a little bit as well. So there was an objective. Um, there was some reason why they had to get together. And I believe that he probably did accomplish that objective. But let's identify, because there's a walking away. So it's almost like, before I comment further, I want to clarify this card. There were some orders and there was, okay, so mission accomplished. They got what they needed. And there was some additional orders that were given. Move into calmer waters, moving into smoother seas over here. There was sort of a change in direction, or here's your change, right? Maybe change in narrative, change in guidance, even it could even be change in something physical, like they were handed one piece of paper and then given quite another, sort of a mission briefing, if you will. Let's actually dive into this card as well. Interesting. So there's a walking away. I almost wonder too if there was a bit of a test, right? So this is like an intelligence test of saying, are you on the team or are you not? Which way are you folks going? And it's based on an individual, on a per individual basis. So I almost wonder if this was more of a vetting process. I'm kind of getting more of that. So let's dive into the execution piece of it. So basically there's truth in the fact that there was everyone getting together, and here's the meeting itself, and it sort of splits ways, right? Are you on the team, or are you on the team or are you not on the team? There's a bit of a vetting process that was happening. It could only happen in person. And so once you know who's on your team, then you move into action. So what is the action? Well, there's something coming up that's going to be upsetting, and they need to do it legally, and actually leveraging the military is that process, right? So who's on the team? Who's moving forward? Because we need to execute something. We're about to embark upon it. It's not going to be fun. I'm actually going to want to clarify this card a little further. Yeah, so there was and bottom of the deck, 10 of cups here. So happy ending. Okay, so this is really interesting. I almost want to dive deeper into this. So there was an objective that they had. They want to know exactly which folks they can trust. Now that they've got their team assembled, they're going to want to, kind of expose a little bit more of the plan. The plan is not for everybody. It's not for everyone's eyes, but there is definitely a plan happening. And yes, here is a new communication. Let's just kind of, for fun, understand what's this new communication. There's a change in perspective of some orders that are being given. What's the change of perspective? There's a conflict coming in. There's a conflict coming in. It's already been agreed upon that this is going to happen. That's interesting. Or they're in the process of planning it right now, sort of anticipation, but there's a conflict coming. Let's get the cards together. What is the conflict that's coming? And is it in the US? because we're starting to see National Guard and other military troops going to particular cities, like my hometown of Chicago. We've seen them elsewhere, Oregon. I'm sure there's a variety of cities. I don't know them all off the top of my head. But what is the conflict that we should be anticipating? 3, 2, 1. What is the conflict that we should be anticipating? Well, there's something new that's happening, that's being planned. Manifesting it. Somebody's manifesting this. It's almost as if we're the ones creating it. No wonder we knew we could plan in advance. My dog was barking and my internet connection went out. And so if you saw me doing this, okay. So these were the cards that came up next while I was waiting for my internet connection to come back up. I promise I didn't plant them myself. Okay, so we've got the Death card, the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. So I'd like to clarify the Death card here. Something strategic. Okay, here's our troops again from the previous reading. So our troops are coming in strategically to be able to work on something new. What is this new? What is this objective? Okay, they're coming in. There's something that's hidden that they want to have access to. What's hidden? I can't get exact reading, but there is something that they're going in to extract or walk away from. Let's clarify this card. Yeah, it's almost as if and this could be people, it could be just getting people out of the way, clearing people out, clearing out a certain situation, sort of smoothing the path out for something else to come in. So the National Guard is coming into a couple of different cities, paving the way for something else. It's sort of like step 1 is putting the military in there. Step 2 is clearing things out because there's almost a step 3 I kind of feel like is coming. Yeah, here's the clearing people out. They're going in to extract certain individuals. I don't know if this is like ICE or if this is, whatever, right? But there's people that they have to clear out in order to move into this next objective. Okay, so what is the next objective? So we've got the military, we figure out who's on board. They're going into certain cities, clearing out certain individuals or certain something, clearing out the city in some way. But for what purpose? What's the end game? 3, 2, 1. What's the end game? Once they clear all those folks out, then what? Well, it's for protection. It's for protection because there's something new coming that we don't see yet. So what is it that we don't see coming in? There's an ending, a significant ending. What kind of an ending do we have? Well, endings bring in new beginnings, but there's some confusion around it. Okay, there's something that's going to happen within the political sphere. And so they want to be able to get the cities protected and locked down, maybe even taking out undesirables or operatives. And that could actually be that they might have, sort of like Antifa or something along those lines. So what if they're actually trying to clear out sort of known individuals that are going to kind of cause harm because they know that something else is coming. It feels like there's some truth and integrity that's coming in from the political realm. I'm wondering if there's anything we can tell. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's a female, sort of like an undesirable person who is going to move into potentially an untimely demise. I almost wonder now as the story starts to unfold here, this could be HRC, this could be somebody else, it could be NP, if you're savvy on those initials. And this is a takedown of someone who has not been good for the government. And those individuals potentially might be connected to groups that might have caused trouble in the past. So that might actually be what the previous reading was just saying. So if we're going step one, Trump's getting all the troops and figuring out who he can trust and who he can't. Step two, go into those radicalized cities and take out sort of the ones that could cause trouble, because step three, stuff's going to start to go down in politics. And we're going to start to see potentially mass arrests. That could be actually what this is talking about, the first arrest. I'm sure that in certain cities, once an arrest comes in, or at least, we saw that there was Comey, who has been indicted, and there were additional names on the list. So is this trying to tell us about the first arrest? And particularly around the arrest of HRC. 3, 2, 1. There's a plan, a plan regarding the deep state. And we're putting all of the pieces together right now. Yes. But then there's something that walks away from this. So what is that? So there's additional takedowns. So it's like, that's not the only one, right? Because there's more here. There's some confusion, or no, actually here's more about the abundance, and there's sort of like multiple plans, multiple irons in the fire of takedowns. Yeah, that's a big confirmation. So there you go. It's the takedown of those that are a bit snarky or sort of a bit, what is the term? I guess I always use it as the old boyfriend term. No, it's the ones that are just sort of not truthful, the ones that are sort of not on the up and up. And so what I think this is trying to tell us is that we're in the midst right now of trying to concoct a plan. I'd actually almost be interested in clarifying this card a little bit further. Okay, so yeah, so there's new planning, leveraging the military. There's a plan to address those that are in the deep state. I think this is a multi-tiered approach in terms of what we're seeing, and what we're doing is getting ready for the first arrest, which will lead to several more after that. So it's sort of like a domino effect. So that might be what is unfolding before our eyes. Bottom of the, oh yeah, I think we already looked at that. Let's see if there's any other message that Spirit would like to share with regards to what's happening around us with generals, with the cities, with the mass arrests, and the things that are about to unfold. Any other message from Spirit? 3, 2, 1. Any other messages from Spirit? Yeah, this is moving forward with politics. There is some mission that's moving in DC. I'd like to clarify this card. Let me move these guys up a little bit. Clarify this card. Strategic plan. Yeah, there's a strategic plan in place right now. Bottom of the deck, Emperor. So this is typically my trump card. I think there is plans in place. This could potentially lead to more conflict. So I think that going into particular cities to lock people down in terms of those that could be, and I'm not saying lock the citizens down. What I'm saying is lock down those that could potentially cause trouble, those that are known to cause riots, those that are on the payroll of Soros and others that, are looting stores or causing trouble in neighborhoods, that kind of thing. I think that's what they're trying to do right now. They're rounding up those that they know are going to be troublemakers, because things are going to start to come out in the media relating to politics, relating to those that are deep state. It's going to start to move us into a new direction. We need to gear up for it. It feels very strategic. It feels very planned. It feels like it's the right time. So I think what we'll do is we'll watch and see as events unfold. So take care, everyone.